Hello everyone and welcome to a brand new channel of mine. This is the first video and it's a little bit scuffed because my new microphone hasn't come in, so we're rocking with the headset mic, but hopefully everything comes together soon enough. This is not how I wanted the first video to be recorded, but you gotta do what you gotta do. Our first video is going to be a movie review new to streaming on Peacock. We got Lisa Frankenstein. Lisa Frankenstein had a short little run in theaters. Didn't really do too much, but it has a lot of love for it online. A lot of people are claiming that it's going to be a cult classic or it's going to be a favorite of many in like 10 years' time or so. And you know what? It's hard to argue that. Just got done watching the movie. Really enjoyed it. It has its problems, but overall, I thought it was really fun and a nice little kind of messed up love story, but I had a good time watching it. Now, with these movie reviews, I'm going to have a short little spoiler free section, and then we're going to move on to, like, some highlights of it, go into a little bit more detail, something like that. I'm going to kick things off with the spoiler free section right now. This movie is set in the 1980s. Our main character, Lisa, isn't really fitting in. She's more introverted and is kind of dealing with the past experience. She's moved into a new town, moved into a new family. She sort of sticks to herself and, she's a little on the different side. Lisa's played by Kathryn Newton and she does a great job in this movie. She spends a lot of her free time in a cemetery and even takes a liking to one special tombstone, so, that's cool. The deceased man that she takes a liking to has come back to life due to some freaky green lightning, I guess, and they come face to face. They form a bond and a connection, and they hang out and go on fun little mischievous adventures. Let's just put it that way. And that's basically the rundown of what is going on in the movie. Sounds silly. It's really goofy. But you know what? It still is a lot of fun. Lisa's zombie friend is played by Cole Sprouse, but he's just credited as the creature. And Cole Sprouse does an amazing job of playing a zombie, walking all funny, bumping into things. He does a great job. Both of our main characters are so much fun to watch, so big shout out once again to Kathryn Newton and as well as Cole Sprouse. They did a great job in this. Overall, I would say I did enjoy this movie. The first, 20 to 30 minutes or so when we're kind of getting introduced to everybody, I was a bit worried because I saw all the love this was getting online. It seemed like a movie I would be into because I'm into that, horror comedy stuff. But I'm going to be real, the first 20 minutes, I wouldn't say it moved slow, but it just felt like I wasn't into it. And I was like, ah, man, am I not going to like this? But then once we get to, the halfway point, it's just, I was hooked, and I was loving every minute of it. So I was worried for a bit, but I was quickly on board with where the movie was going. I think it shot really well. The 80s vibe is really cool. It has a lot of colorful moments in there, which, you don't see in a lot of horror movies, so that was very fun to see. I already mentioned our two main characters, a lot of fun to watch. The side characters, everyone in this movie kind of sucks. I'm gonna be real. Whether it's intentional or unintentional, you got Lisa who has her problems, but she's at least fun to follow along in her journey. Cole Sprouse is a dead dude, so, you gotta love that. He's goofy and stuff. But every other character we get introduced to, except for maybe one or two, are really just kind of there to be annoying and to be a pain in the ass, which I get that's why they're there. Every time they were on screen, it was like, oh great, this person. And I don't think that was necessarily any of the actors' fault, it's just characters they didn't really care about. That's just me though. I know they have a purpose for being there, but I just couldn't really get into them and it kind of drained the movie. But after the first 20 minutes or so, the ball gets rolling and it's a very enjoyable watch. I would recommend Lisa Frankenstein if you like horror and comedy. There isn't too much gore in it. It's more, I guess it's more on the comedy side of things. There are horror elements, but it could be mainly passed off as a comedy romance with a bit of terrifying imagery in there, I guess. So there's basically the spoiler-free version of it. If you want to go check it out now, you can, but we're going to go into some spoilers, so if you don't want to hear it, mute the video and just watch me, try to read my lips, I guess. I don't know. My main complaint earlier was that the characters all sort of sucked, and they kind of do. We have Lisa's dad. Lisa's mom was killed by a home invader with an axe. And not too long after, her father got remarried, so she's kind of a part of this new family now. I think Lisa's dad is alright. He's kind of in this middle area where he doesn't really seem to care about his daughter, but you can kind of tell that he, kind of cares for her, but I don't know. He kind of is just oblivious to what's going on and just kind of chills, and that's really what he does. He just kind of sits there and chills. The same cannot be said for her stepmother, Janet, who is really hard on her. I mean, there's some points where it's kind of deserved, but she just really seems like a tight ass and kind of an asshole. So, And throughout the movie, she reveals her true colors as she starts, going insane. So Janet, didn't really enjoy her, but she's there to be an asshole, so I guess good job, Janet. Then there's Lisa's stepsister, Taffy, who she's a cool character, but again, kind of in that middle ground where it seems like she cares about Lisa, but she also is like really focused on herself, but she's not an asshole and doesn't ever intentionally mean to be rude or disrespectful to Lisa. She's just, kind of in her own bubble. So you can't really get too mad at her. She's one of the nicer characters in the movie. But of course, in any movie with a troubled high schooler, you gotta have a party, and you gotta have everybody at this party be kind of a dickhead. There's this guy named Michael that Lisa has a crush on, and he seems alright, but in that kind of sly, not over the top douchebag kind of way, but you can tell he's kind of a douchebag. Then there's this girl that may or may not be with Michael, who knows. She offers a drink to Lisa that's spiked with something, and it makes Lisa feel a little woozy. And then that's where we run into Doug, and Doug seems like a chill guy, kind of geeky. Oh, I'm your lab partner, haha. But then he starts getting a little bit too much into like, taking advantage territory, and we're like, oh, come on, Doug, you seem like you were kind of chill. So far, only like one other character that's cool, which would be her sister. But after the party is when the lightning hits, and Cole Sprouse's creature character comes to life, so we don't really have to sit with the dipshit partiers for too long. When the creature and Lisa finally come face to face, that's when I would say the movie really gets rolling. We get to see them interact, and she realizes, like, oh my god, you're the dude from the cemetery that I gave my necklace to, because, he pulls out her mother's necklace that she put on his tombstone. So it's like, alright, they know each other now, and their little relationship throughout the movie, it's fun. Lisa shows him how to take a shower and get all that dirt off of him. We even have a little trying on different clothes montage with the creature stepping in and out of Lisa's closet with different outfits. It's silly, but you know what? It worked for me. A little Disney Channel fun never hurt nobody. Lisa keeps the creature in her closet. That way, none of her family members will ever find him. And now we break away from the fun stuff to, alright, here's where the insane stuff starts happening. The first night when the creature showed up, Lisa didn't know it was the tombstone guy, so they made a mess of the living room and made a mess all around the house. So her stepmom, Janet, furious, pissed, thinks she is all into this vandalism stuff. So when Janet is in Lisa's room and threatening her and talking crap about her dead mother, the creature comes from behind and bangs Janet on the head with something, and oops, stepmom's dead, uh-oh. And since the creature is missing an ear, he decides to cut off Janet's ear and has Lisa sew it on for him, so now we're going to be hunting for the body parts that the creature does not have, and that's going to be a lot of fun. The best part about this movie is definitely the relationship between Lisa and the creature. The more time they spend together, the more fun we have with Lisa showing the creature how to, do little tasks and whatnot, and then Lisa also gains some confidence wearing more flashier outfits to school. She starts talking a lot more, which she's kept kind of quiet since her mother got killed. The creature at this point has also pretty much fallen in love with Lisa. At the very beginning of the movie, we get a nice little animation of Cole Sprouse's character's past life in I guess, shadow puppet kind of form, I don't know, more like silhouettes hopping around the screen, and then we see him, lose a lady, get killed by, I guess, lightning or something, and then that's when we cut to real life, where, many, many years later, Lisa is at the cemetery. So the creature definitely has feelings for Lisa, but Lisa is kind of still focused on Michael, but, the feelings are there, I'm pretty sure. So because of their relationship, the creature is finding love again, I guess, and also finding new body parts that he was missing, and Lisa has this whole new, level of confidence about herself, so, they're both really benefiting from this relationship. The same can't be said about the people that they're killing in order to get the body parts, which, speaking of, we're moving on to Doug. And one of my favorite sequences from the movie, we have Lisa, who's kind of trying to, I guess, flirt or get the attention of Michael. She slips a note in his locker asking him to meet her somewhere, and she checks a note left in her locker, and it's circled yes. But when we get to where Lisa and Michael were gonna meet, it's revealed that it's not Michael, it's actually Doug that she wrote the note to, and Doug, buddy, oh, you're not gonna have a good time. And when Doug tries to get up and run away, they throw an axe at his back and finish the job. The creature and Lisa's relationship, continues to grow throughout the movie, but it gets so messy and complex because the more Lisa's confidence grows, the more she's like, alright, I get to freaking get with Michael, haha. And also for the creature to get new body parts, they have to kill more people, which is not good, but they're both happy together still. I think the way the creature slowly comes back to life is really cool and a unique way of going about it. There's this tanning bed that Taffy won from a beauty pageant or something, and it malfunctions a hell of a lot where it just shocks you and electrocutes you. It doesn't even tan you at all. So every time the creature gets a new body part sewn on, he hops into the tanning bed, gets a little bit of a shock, and he starts becoming more and more alive. While the whole tanning bed thing is a little bit on the silly side, it is a like horror comedy, and it gets us from point A to point B, and I think it's unique enough, and I think it works, so props to the movie for making something interesting. And probably my favorite part of the movie, there's a bit where the creature, in his past life, he was a musician, he liked to play on the piano, tickle the ivories, I guess, I think that's what they say. But he plays the piano, and you see some sheet music for I Can't Fight This Feeling Anymore, and he is jamming away on the keys, and Kathryn Newton is singing along, dancing in the background. Probably one of my favorite little scenes from a movie I've seen in a while. It's so fun. Lisa's stepsister Taffy is obviously worried about her mother being missing, and this is where we start to see Lisa slowly start, realizing the consequences of her actions. I think Lisa does feel bad for Taffy, killing her mom and all, but she's so obsessed with this new confidence and this new persona that I don't think she feels too bad about it, but also Janet was kind of an ass, so obviously the line is a little blurred, depending on if she's crossed it or not. I mean, she killed a person, or two people actually, so I think she has crossed the line. And then at school, there are police officers there questioning her, saying, hey, we saw someone that looks like Doug meet up with someone that looks like you, so what's going on, Lisa? And towards the end of the movie, we're at the point where Lisa's like, alright, I'm pretty much caught, they're pretty much on to me, so you know what? I'm gonna have sex with Michael before I get thrown in jail, I guess. So she's like, hey, yo, creature, drive me to his house right now, because he's out and about driving a car, because why not? And the creature at first is hesitant, because it's like, hey, you and me, we were building a bond, I really like you, and I think you really like me, but she's like, no. She's too filled with anger and just this whole other level of, like I was saying, her new persona in a way. So the creature drives her to Michael's house, and she's like, alright, I'm gonna sleep with Michael because, if I'm going out in style. And before she's able to open his door, she hears a voice, and, oh my god, it's Taffy. And that's not good at all now, is it? Taffy knew that Lisa liked Michael, but Taffy didn't mean to steal Michael from her, and Michael even says, yo, hey, it was never gonna work. So Lisa's pissed, and look out, here comes the creature, marching in with an axe, raises it up, slow motion, boom, chops Michael's dick off, and oh my god, I was not expecting to see that whatsoever. And he tries to slash at Taffy, but Lisa's like, hey, yo, chill. So Michael's dead, the creature ends up grabbing his thing, and, maybe you can kind of see where this is going. But it's here where we see that Lisa does still care about Taffy. She's kind of comforting her. She's bringing her along for the ride. She even gives Taffy her mother's necklace that she originally gave to the creature. Is like, hey, you treated me so nice. You went out of your way to say, like, hey, she's family now. And, although Taffy wasn't perfect, kind of stuck on herself, but she was still pretty nice for the most part. And I guess that shows that Lisa has some feelings still in that, in the new person that she's become. Lisa ends up going to the cemetery to check out what's up with the creature. And, you know what? She's like, hey, let's freaking do this thing. You and me, before I get sent to prison. Lisa and the creature end up going back to their house. She sews on Michael's thing on the creature, goes into the tanning bed, comes back out, a new man, I guess you could say. And towards the end, we're back in the shed with the tanning bed, and Lisa's like, hey, you know what? We had a fun ride. Hops into the tanning bed. Usually they've been setting it on the medium setting, but she tells the creature, set it to the ultimate bronze, or whatever the hell this setting is. And she gets cooked up like a son of a gun in there, and the shed gets caught on fire. Her dad shows up, and he's like, oh crap. Fire department's here. The whole neighborhood's like, wow, look at that. That's pretty crazy now, isn't it? But at the very end of the movie, we see the creature, and he's speaking elegantly, reading like a poem or something, on a bench, and we see Lisa all bandaged up, probably because, of all the fire and whatnot from the tanning bed. She's all bandaged up, got no eyeballs, but she seems happy. So, kind of a happy ending, very messy love story, a bit of horror thrown in there, and a lot of comedy. And you know what? I think it all works. Very nice movie. If it weren't for the first 20 minutes and just my personal feelings towards some of the characters that I just didn't really care for, I think this would have been an absolute slam dunk. But even with the minor, little minor complaints, this movie, really good. And I think it's safe to say that all the online buzz about this becoming a cult classic is, true. This didn't do great in the theaters, But in 10 years, you're going to have a whole crop of people being like, this is my favorite movie. And you know what? Good for them. It's not my favorite, but I did really like it. You can't go wrong. Cole Sprouse bumbling around as a zombie. Catherine Newton freaking kills it. She's killed it in every movie I've seen her in. I'm a big fan of Freaky, and she did great in that. She plays kind of a similar character as Millie in Freaky in this, kind of awkward girl, then shows up kind of with like a makeover at school, and like, wow, she's cool, isn't she? So overall, I'd give this movie a yeah, go watch it. I don't know. I don't think I'm going to have a scoring method or anything. Overall, I'd say if you want to have a fun little movie night, if you like a little bit of horror, a little bit of a rom-com kind of situation there, go check this movie out. It was a lot of fun. Thank you for watching the video. It probably was a little rough with the headset mic and, the camera's not the best quality, but we're doing what we can over here. And by we, I mean me. So thumbs up if I did an okay job. Let me know what movies you're excited for to come out in 2024. This was the first movie that came out this year that I've seen. I've seen a lot of movies this year, but this is the first actual 2024 release I've seen. And, I'm not disappointed in the slightest. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I'll be posting more soon, probably, hopefully. I would assume so. And I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.